Dealer Talk family. Okay, so these are the top 5 things to watch for. This is what I'm talking to the dealers that I consult with about. I wanted to share this here on this platform. Hopefully there's some takeaways. If there's one thing that you can take away from here that's going to help your business, then mission accomplished. So number one is look at the data, right? Look at your GA and see where your activity is coming from. So I would definitely pay attention to my geos right now. The reason I would be looking at this is because you want to stay within 10 to 30 miles from your dealership right now. Like the majority of your efforts have to be in your backyard. And the reason for that is that's the people that you can impact the most, right? When it comes to selling a vehicle, servicing, or parts, it's just going to make your life a lot easier, right? People are not driving long distances right now. Nobody's getting on planes, right, to buy cars. So especially if you're offering delivery options and purchasing online options, then the closer you are to the dealership, the better. Same thing if you have to pick up vehicles for service. It just makes your life easier, and it's the area where you have the most control over right now. And with things as uncertain as they are, that's where you want to focus. I would pay attention to neighboring markets. The only reason why I would do that is to see it doesn't make sense for us to expand our reach a little bit. I've been talking to a lot of vendors, and the online activity has been pretty constant. We haven't really seen a dip. And so there may be some areas of opportunities to help some other folks. So having a little bit of presence out in neighboring markets wouldn't be terrible, but I wouldn't go as far as, further out than maybe 100. I'd probably keep that between 50 to 100 miles from the dealership. It's not so much about the sales and the service and all that. It's about helping people right now. And so the more you can do that, the better. But you got to be smart too. Things are changing. So everything's so is fluctuating so much right now that you can't really afford to put yourself in positions that are going to slow you down. Okay. The other thing that I would start paying attention to a lot right now is to my traffic sources, right? But not in particular where my traffic's coming from, but who's delivering the most qualified users to the website. And in order to determine that, I would look at time on site. I would look at bounce rate. I would look at goal conversion, right? In particular, goal conversion. I've been hearing a lot of dealers talk about they're shutting everything down, and I'm going to tell you right now that's a mistake. Online activity is still pretty constant. So it's not about shutting everything down. It's about being smart and doubling down on those sources that are driving the most traffic to the website. The reason why the website is so important right now, folks, is because your message, right? The message is different. And so with that, you have to drive customers to the website now more than ever so that you can tell them that message. And what that message should look like, it should be service, parts, and sales. What are the things that you are doing in your departments to address the current situations, right? How are you making things safer for your customers, safer for your employees? What offsite options are you delivering? And I would do it in this format too. I would start with sales, parts, and service. I would start with service, parts, and sales. I wouldn't make sales the primary objective, right? Make it a part of the information, but really focus on those things that are going to showcase the things that you can do for people right now to make their lives easier, right? More than ever. Okay, so the next thing is going to be third parties, right? So first of all, I gotta give a quick shout out to the third-party sites. I mean, I gotta say that they've really stepped up. I know this year in particular, I've been talking a lot about taking control of the inventory, which it kind of goes against some of the practices of some of these companies, in particular the inventory listing sites. But I gotta say, it's pretty awesome to see everybody coming together and collaborating. So kudos to you guys for stepping it up and helping out the dealer community right now. That being said, again, website traffic is the objective. If you can, if some of these companies can offer you alternatives to drive more customers to the website, then I would explore those. I know Auto Trader was offering some discounts with digital retailing for dealers right now on their platform's listings, which I think it's pretty cool. If you don't have that, I'd give you an opportunity to test it out while servicing customers that are potentially looking to buy offline, or excuse me, off-site. So, but more than anything, it's about who's driving the most traffic to the website, and some of these companies are not designed to do that. And so you have to maybe take advantage of the discounted rate for now and double down in other areas like social media, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. But look at the data, folks. Again, that's why having partners like Dealer Talk Vendor Management Solution is critical, because we can, especially now where you're going a million miles an hour, changing strategies on a constant basis. We would be that constant when it comes to the data and be able to present it to you so that you can make, quick decisions right now and kind of shift things. All right, on digital strategies, looking at SEM and SEO. On the SEM side of things, again, I would focus on contracting to 10 to 30 miles, right? If you're, in some cases, a lot of these setups are outside of market. Not a lot of it, but what I'm trying to say is that typically we have conquesting efforts when it comes to SEM. Unless you have neighboring markets that are shut down, I would completely get rid of this part and just focus in your backyard. Again, make it easy for yourself. Focus on those customers that you can help, that you can impact the most. On the SEO side of things, guys, I'm sorry to say, but I would optimize my website as quickly as I can to include some weird terminology, right? Like sanitizing vehicles, pickup and delivery, those sorts of things. Again, if that website activity is constant, then customers are getting information, and you want to be able to tell them, right? So let them know what it is that you're doing and how you can help them either stay at home and still get their vehicle service, or what are you doing at your dealership to make it safe for them and for the employees. And then the last thing I would leverage is social media, man. Social media is where I would spend a lot of my time right now. It's very quick for you to put a message, post it, right? And then you can do Facebook ads to tell customers in the community of, hey, listen, this is what we're doing right now. You can upload the list to the CRM, which is where I would spend most of my time, is database marketing, and tell them, hey, listen, during these times, this is what we're doing. These are the things that we've done for service, parts, and sales to make it safe and convenient for you. And obviously social media is cheaper. You can get right in front of these customers with a message, and most importantly, you can have the frequency, right? When you think about advertising, it should be about getting the most frequency for the least amount of spend. And so I would be reallocating a lot of my spend from third parties and some of those areas back into social media right now more than ever. All right, thank you, everybody. Again, if you're looking for somebody to help you out, if you need somebody to look at the data for you, reach out to me. We have some special promotions right now to help dealers. Just get in touch with me, and as usual, we'll talk later. Take care, everybody. Bye.